Welcome to Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. It's the ultimate opportunity to look behind the scenes at Rockstar Pro and hear from the wrestlers themselves. Now here are your hosts, Chris Poland and Mark Turner.
He's a betrayer. He betrayed us all. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 26 of Backstage Pass. I'm Chris Poland here with my co-host Mark Turner, and the OI4K have exploded.
Yeah, they have, and I love that betrayer reference, by the way. Going back to yesteryear.
Yeah, that's for long-time Rockstar fans.
Yeah, and that's the perfect description right there for everybody that knows what that word means.
Right.
For Ron Mathis, I mean, can you believe that he turned on Jake Kris at 3?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, especially after all the talk from previous episodes about family, about brotherhood, about trust, and Mathis has turned his back on his brethren, or so it seems.
Just like you said, OI4K, they're beyond a faction. You know, they're not your typical wrestling faction. I mean, they really are a brotherhood. I mean, it took Ron a long time to get on equal footing and everybody in the OI4K. He worked really hard for it. And I don't understand why he turned his back on that.
I really don't either. And to be honest, he hasn't been that helpful in explaining it to us.
No, not at all. I mean, after Amped last week, I tried to talk to him about it, and he was a man of few words. Let's just put it that way.
So who knows what's going on in the head of the Relentless One. Obviously, we're talking about the fallout from 3, Rockstar's big 3-year anniversary show from last month. Jake Kris managed to win that 10-man championship, crazy Island of Death hardcore match. But no thanks to Ron Mathis, who, when he had an opportunity to take out DJ Hyde, instead turned on Jake, and only by Jake's own grit, I think, and hard work did he manage to survive that match.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake overcoming all odds. I mean, we've seen him overcome odds before, but nothing like this. To have your own brother turn on you in the match and to still defeat DJ Hyde, and anybody else left in that match, in that 10-man Island of Death. It was just an insane match, an insane night, a great night, if you will, except for that one moment by Mathis and Rockstar Pro history.
Yeah, if you weren't here for 3, you can still catch it on DIYWrestling.com, I believe.
Absolutely.
You can download the pay-per-view. It was a hell of a night. The Rockstar Pro Arena was packed, standing room only. It was one of the best turnouts I've ever seen here.
Yeah, it's right up there. It's one of, if not the highest attended show I think Rockstar's ever had.
Yeah, and great from beginning to end, but I think you got to say that the 2 highlights are probably the matches in which the Kris ended up victorious, both the championship match and the match that opened the show, that insane Lucha Core aerial assault match.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great scramble matches, a lot of great American Lucha Core championship matches, but that one might have topped them all right there. What a way to kick off 3 that was. I mean, that insane aerial assault match. There's so much going on at once. I didn't know what to call. I didn't know where to put my eyes. Nate's flying off the ceiling. Jerome Phillips jumping off the top rope. But what a moment that was. I mean, Black Jaws making a return.
Yeah, an amazing return. The crowd went crazy. What an incredible way to start off that pay-per-view experience. One of the most exciting, most high-flying, just craziest matches, I would say, in Rockstar history.
Yeah, I agree completely. And like you said, Dave Kris coming out on top, walking out as the American Lucha Core champion, that really set the tone for the night. The crowd was completely into everything that was going on in the ring that night.
Yeah, it was a great night, and one that we hope will only be topped by the upcoming Unstoppable here Friday, March 6th at Rockstar Pro Arena, 1106 East 3rd Street in lovely Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, it's shaping up to be a great card. I mean, all you need to hear, if you ask me, is Jake Kris, Ron Mathis, Rockstar Pro Championship. That sells tickets right there.
Oh, yeah. You know, we've seen Jake and Ron test each other, take one another to the limit.
Without a doubt.
I kind of am curious as to what the time limit might be on this match, because we've seen these guys go for hour-long matches, and still have enough energy in the tank to pull off, devastating finishes on one another.
Absolutely. They had that great hour-long Iron Man match that's still on YouTube right now. If you go to youtube.com/Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Am I doing a good job?
Plug the shit out of it.
It's a great match. And that's not the only match they've had. I think the week before that, back in 2013, they had like a 45-minute match, I believe. It was just an insane time. And if those guys can kill each other like that when they're friends,
right?
What's going to happen now? That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, we really don't know what's going on in Mathis's head. We just know what he's done by his actions. And that match was a brutal one. It took its toll on everyone involved.
Right.
Jake in particular had a tough match, and you have to imagine that puts Ron in an advantageous position going into this championship match at Unstoppable.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, Rockstar Pro's already announced it on their Facebook and their Twitter that Jake, he walked out of 3 still the champion, but he was battered and bruised, like you said. I mean, he had a concussion, and there's some whispers of other injuries he's received that I don't think Jake wants to let it out there, but, I mean, we can all see with our eyes here. He hasn't been wrestling very often since that match, and when he has, he hasn't quite looked the same, so he might not be 100%.
Yeah.
But that's what you get when you have an Island of Death match with 10 people in it. I mean, Jake wasn't the only one that walked out injured in that match.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was honestly amazed that more people didn't get hurt. How violent and unpredictable I think that match was. But that wasn't the only thing that we have to concern us going into Unstoppable. Obviously, the championship match is the highest priority. But we've also seen some other rivalries developing over the past few weeks. In particular, we're going to see Kyle Maverick take on Aaron Williams, the baddest man alive. What do you expect to see in that match, Mark?
Well, this one right here, this will really test the young Kyle Maverick. I mean, Kyle Maverick, he's done some good things in Rockstar Pro.
Yeah.
He's done some things the fans don't like as well.
Yeah.
That long entrance being one of them. That's something personally as a commentator, I kind of hate to just not be speaking for about 2.5 minutes while he spiels through that, but that's just speaking. But this is a huge opportunity for him as well. I mean, at the time when he cost Aaron Williams his match a few weeks ago on Amped against Zach Spades, you were wondering, like, what in the world is Kyle Maverick thinking? Mm-hmm. But if you really sit back and think about it, this is a way for Kyle Maverick to leapfrog himself into a main event picture. If he can defeat the longest reigning champion in company history, that's true. That could do wonders for his career.
There's only a handful of Rockstar champions, past and present. And to get a victory over them, one of them, like you said, it puts you on the fast track toward championship contention.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like you said, in that Island of Death main event match at 3, we talked about the injuries in that matchup.
Yeah.
Aaron Williams himself, I mean, we saw right when he made his entrance in that match, he appeared to tweak that knee that's been bothering him for I don't know how long at this point. And Kyle Maverick, he might have saw that, and he might see a situation he could take advantage of here.
Yeah, and, don't get me wrong, Aaron Williams, a master of the martial arts.
Right.
He can use any part of his body as a weapon, but his kicks are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And taking that away, or at least taking some of the impact of those kicks away, might play to Maverick's favor as well.
Yeah, that it is, but I mean, Aaron Williams still, he even with a bad knee, we've seen what he can do. He's gone toe-to-toe with Jake Christ in an Iron Man match with a bad knee. I mean, this guy...
Right.
He has proven time and time again that he is the cream of the crop here in Rockstar Pro. The cream of the crop.
Yeah. Just look back to the Rockstar match of the year, or the feud of the year. Williams and Dustin Ray's, that crazy strap match that they had. Just the
insane.
Yeah, it was insane. And Williams, always able to pull out something new. He I think, displayed new levels of innovation and brutality in that feud that are probably going to benefit him in this match.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you just said there. When you think Aaron Williams, you typically think of the mat wrestling ability that he has, but in that feud with Dustin Ray's, and particularly that match you're talking about, we saw another side of Aaron Williams and how much he can excel and how well-rounded of a wrestler he truly is.
Yeah.
I mean... He stuffed Dustin Ray's mouth with thumbtacks, and he kicked him in the mouth afterwards. I mean, I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth.
It was an unforgettable scene, that is for sure.
Yeah, not to mention Dustin Reyes was set on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, and put through a table. You can understand why the fans voted it as the match of the year for 2014.
Yeah, and you can go watch that right now by going to DIYWrestling.com or picking up that DVD or any other here at the Rockstar Pro Arena.
That's right. We're getting the plugs in early and often today.
But yeah, speaking of the awards, I mean, that won the match of the year. It won the feud of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jake Christ won the Rockstar of the year. Well-deserved there, as he is the current champion. And
absolutely.
not to mention, Duke Beefhammer won the Newcomer of the Year in
how about
Rockstar
that?
Pro. How about that?
Old Beefy, getting some, stroke maybe here at Rockstar Pro. He's on a winning streak.
He's on a winning streak. That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm so excited about it. I mean, the guy hadn't picked up a victory in about a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
He picks up one. He got the ball rolling. He's ready to go now. 3 in a row for him.
They talk about it so much in college basketball, but, momentum can really be your friend in professional wrestling, too.
That it is. And, I mean, when Beefhammer picked up that first victory, he had Jake Christ in his corner coaching him. I guess he picked up some tips.
I guess so.
Now he's winning.
Yeah. So I imagine we'll see Beefhammer at Unstoppable.
He is unstoppable. Right
he is. At least to our knowledge. One other match that we know about right now is going to be, as JR would call it, I believe, a slobber knocker.
Yep.
And that is the Pitbull Ganger versus Matt Tremont.
Yeah, I think at least one person will be wearing a crimson mask, as he would say in this one.
Indeed.
I mean, Ganger and Tremont, we've seen them face off the last few pay-per-views, and if there's anybody that's as crazy as Ganger, and we know how crazy Ganger is here in Rockstar Pro, it's Matt Tremont. I mean, this guy loves violence.
Mm-hmm. It's a hardcore match, and we're going to see these two competitors take each other to the limit.
Yeah, and Ganger, he's the hardcore king here in Rockstar Pro. I mean, I know the man simply known as Michael will like to tell people differently, but I'm pretty sure if you ask most people here, they would say the Pitbull Ganger is the one guy you don't want to mess with when it comes to hardcore. But the bulldozer Matt Tremont, I mean, this guy has taken the United States and the world by storm in death matches.
It's true.
He's won the King of the Death. You name it, he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing right here, it's not for the weak and heart.
No, I would say not. So, those are 3 matches we know about coming up on March 6th at Unstoppable. Again, you can get your tickets now. It's $15 for front row, $10 for general admission. That's here at the Rockstar Pro Arena. Also scheduled to appear are Alex Colon, that dickhead DJ Hyde, Darkstar Matt Taylor, and even more Rockstars. Keep your eye on Rockstar's social media presences, on the website, on the YouTube channel. More matches will be announced soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 3 announced right now as of this podcast, but there's going to be a lot more good matches announced. And check out RockstarProWrestling.com. We talked about it, but the website's looking great right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to do something just a little bit different before we send it off to the spotlight.
Let's do it.
I teased this a little bit on our 25th episode.
Oh, no.
Spectacular. But I thought we'd give it a go now. And who knows, if it doesn't work, I'll just delete this whole segment.
That might work with me.
All right? So, we know that you know wrestling holds. You know wrestling moves, right? You're a play-by-play commentator.
Yeah, I should know them. You might get me fired here if this goes poorly.
Well, here's the thing. You know that you can call them when you see them.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can call them when you hear descriptions of them. All right? So I'm going to describe a hold.
I'm a visual learner. This is bad.
And you're going to tell me what it is.
Okay.
We'll just do a few of them just to see.
Crippler crossface, 1.
No.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 1.
Okay.
I've got to switch because I was going to do the crossface. Okay, you ready?
Spoiler alert. Okay.
The wrestler begins the hold by standing over a face-down opponent. He reaches down to pull the opposing wrestler up slightly, sits on his back, and places both of his opponent's arms across his thighs, usually locking at least one by placing the arm in the crook of his knee. Once the wrestler has the opponent's arm where he wants them, he reaches forward, cups his hands in a manner so that his fingers are interlocking, then grabs the opponent's chin in his cupped hands and leans back, pulling on the opponent's chin and applying pressure to his back.
I said I'm a visual learner.
Yeah? What's that sound like to you?
At the beginning, I thought I was going to know this, but then as you went on, What does it sound like? Give me a clue.
How about the real, the legend, make you humble?
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a camel clutch.
It is the camel clutch.
Yeah, okay. Now I can visualize it now.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Also known as a rear chin lock.
It was honestly that wasn't how I was visualizing it based on that description.
No,
but I completely understand it now. See,
okay.
This isn't going to go well.
No. Well, here, let's try another, just to see. Okay.
Crippler crossface. Right?
No,
no,
we're not doing the crippler crossface.
All right.
Wiped from history.
It's wiped from history.
All right.
Crispin Wah.
So, this hold sees a wrestler approach a supine opponent and sit next...
A what opponent?
Is it supine?
It is now.
All right. Okay, Google. Define supine.
Supine of a person lying face upward.
There you go, supine, lying face upward.
I think this guy might take my job.
You're totally learning things as we expand our vocabulary. Okay, so again, this hold sees a wrestler approach a supine opponent and sit next to them before turning on to their side towards the opponent and wrapping their legs around either side of their opponent's head, crossing the top leg after it has gone around the opponent's chin. The wrestler then tightens the grip to choke an opponent by compressing their throat.
That's called the what now?
That's what you're supposed to be guessing.
I know. This is my job, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing when just.
I'm trying to help you with some visuals.
I know you're
here.
trying to help me. I suck.
Rock,
you're making me feel really
paper.
bad. Head scissors.
There you go. All right, one last one before we.
This is going worse than I thought it would, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Here we go. A maneuver which, when applied correctly against an individual, is purported to cause intense, legitimate pain. The hold is applied when
the other ones haven't? No legitimate pain on those?
All right, come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The hold is applied when the aggressor places his middle and ring fingers into the opponent's mouth, sliding them under the tongue and jabbing into the soft tissue found at the bottom of the mouth. The thumb and or palm of the same hand is placed under the jaw, and pressure is applied downward by the middle and ring fingers, while the thumb/palm forces the jaw upwards.
Is there a sock involved in this?
There may be, not always.
Not always? Well, I'm going to guess the mandible claw on that one then.
Okay. Yes, you got that one right.
Can we end on a good note then?
Sure. We'll end there. So 1 out of 3.
One out of 3.
Hey,
not quite meatloaf, but yeah, it's not bad.
No, it's not. So that's not going to become a recurring segment.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe try flippy moves. Maybe I might know those better.
Okay, those were all holds. Next time we'll do strikes or some aerial moves, something along those lines.
If you had asked me 10 years ago, when indie wrestling was all about the holds and the Daniel Bryans and world, I might have known that, but nowadays it's all about the flippies.
Okay, so next episode, flippy moves.
Okay.
It'll be our, homage to the aerial assault match.
Hey, you know what I wanted to talk about, if we have time? Well,
sure.
Let's just spitball here.
What's that?
Hey, did you hear the news about former Rockstar Pro graduate, I guess you would say, Sammy Callahan, Solomon Crow, saving an individual from a car?
I did hear that. A friend out in Orlando sent a text that said, basically, Sammy pulled a Superman.
That he did. I mean, how great is that? First, he makes his debut on NXT, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, he's saving the day.
Yeah. So, pretty amazing to think of what we can do, when push comes to shove, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy may be a hacker, but he's still a good person.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, if you think about Sammy, Solomon, whatever, let him know that we're appreciative of his efforts.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that just goes to show that if you become a wrestler here in Rockstar Pro, you might eventually become a superhero yourself.
It's true. It's true. So, without any further ado, we've rambled on long enough here. Let's take it to our Spotlight segment.
It's time for the Rockstar Wrestler Spotlight.
Okay, here on the Spotlight for this episode of Backstage Pass, We have a man, we've been talking a lot how actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
This is a man of action. You probably haven't heard him talk all that much in the Rockstar Pro Arena. You've just seen him beat the living crap out of anyone who gets in his way. That's right, it's the Pitbull. Ganger joins us today. Welcome.
How you guys doing today?
We're good, how are you?
I'm all right.
As we said, man, a few words, right?
Yeah, I don't talk much.
Well,
I prefer to beat the shit out of somebody.
Well, hey, we appreciate you breaking your silence, and I think I can speak for Mark when I say we both hope that you don't end up beating the shit out of either of us throughout this interview.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit timid here with my questions. I don't want to offend Ganger here in this interview.
Well, you've been here at Rockstar for quite a while. Have you been here since the very beginning?
I started at the very beginning,
Yeah.
from day one when these doors opened, and I've watched it grow to where it is now.
And it's, pretty amazing after 3 years, I gotta say.
It's gotten big.
It has. And I think your kind of acclaim has grown with it. You're a favorite here at Rockstar. All you have to do is walk into the ring, kick somebody's ass, and people are happy to see you, right?
Yeah, it was kind of weird when I first started off here. I was called Shrek for
That's
the longest
right.
time. Got called Shrek, and then I cut a promo one night, and next thing I knew, I came back the following week, and I had a big fan base.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird, kind of shocking, and ever since then, they told me to start being myself more, and that's what I was on the mic. I was straight shoot on the whole company, and that's what got me over, I believe.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before on this podcast, wrestlers who really are true to themselves in the ring seem to connect with the crowd a little more than those who are, trying to play up as a certain, appearance or try to play to the crowd or whatever it may be. Those people who just act like themselves seem to get the respect of the fans.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I had started being myself. Some of these fans found out my personal life and other stuff going on, and so I said hell with it to start being who I really am.
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey to Rockstar, right? Every pro wrestler has their training story, their story of how they fell in love with the sport. What's yours?
I started out doing this at a company over in Pickle area. I started off because Dave Kris introduced me to this company. Mm-hmm. When they introduced me to it, I did a little bit of training with Big Jim at first, but then HWA, when it was in Glendale, had a big, huge Battle Royal going on over here at Montgomery County Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So that's where I went, did my Battle Royal. Next thing I knew, I was one of the last 3 participants in the 3-ring Battle Royal. And from there, it was just Dave Kris got me hooked into it with the, Les and Cody and them there, and it just took off for me from there.
Yeah. It's funny how wrestling really is this kind of huge extended family, because we hear you dropping these names of people that we know very well in the Rockstar Pro Arena, but people may not know how long your history goes with some of these other wrestlers.
I go way back with some of these guys. Some are still here, some aren't. It's just when I first started doing hardcore training, which was in Glendale, I was going during the day. I'd get there about noon, and I wouldn't leave till about 6 o'clock at night when I had to go to work to a shoot job. So, and I was there. Dick Rickwood came there. He was there training. Dean Ambrose, at that time, John Moxley, he was always there training with us. Cody was there, and a few other people were there. And that's just how I learned. And then ever since then, everything's just grown for me from that point on.
Yeah, learning from and with the best, it sounds like.
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah.
There's one name you said there earlier, and that was, like Les Thatcher, training with him. I mean, that guy is as old school as it gets, isn't he?
He's very old school, but he will tell you if he likes you, if he doesn't like you.
What did he tell you?
We had a 6-man tag once over here at the Montgomery County Fairground area. We're doing a steel cage match. Yeah. It was me, Dave, and Jake on one side versus the Mavericks and Scotty Murray on the other side. They had this big, huge ending planned out. Les shows up, asks us what the ending was, says, I hate it, and I hate you, and I hate you, and you suck. So
simple enough.
So, of course, the booker's like, don't listen to him, do what I want. We all just kind of stood there like, what the hell just happened? That was the first time I really got to meet the guy, too. He just told me how he hated me and how I sucked.
Wow. So, not the warmest of welcomes, I guess.
No. I was like, okay. And I remember all the guys do all the flippy dives and all that.
Yeah.
He told them, there's no place in wrestling for that. You guys suck.
And look at wrestling now.
Yeah. That sounds like kind of that the Lance Storm mindset, right?
Yes.
It's my way of wrestling is the only good way of wrestling.
That's how he looks at it, yeah.
Well, you talk about all the flippies, as you mentioned. I mean, and we have a lot of that here in Rockstar Pro, without a doubt. And I think that's what makes you stand out so much when you come out here in a Rockstar Pro arena. I mean, you just have a presence to you that once that music hits, everybody knows business is about to pick up. It's going to be a brawl.
Yeah, I legit love to fight. I love to hit hard. I love to be hit. Believe it or not, I just love it. I love when people hit me, and for the longest time being here, I've never been respected by many of my peers or even the fans. And now that I've stepped in here and been here from day one, I've earned respect from the fans. Still working out from some of my peers, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. If they respect me, great. If they don't, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, wrestling seems to be a business full of big personalities, big egos, right? Everybody's going to rub each other the wrong way at some point. And I think the ones who succeed are the ones who stick to it despite those, personality conflicts. So speaking of conflict, right, you have a big hardcore match against Matt Tremont coming up at Unstoppable. Tell us a little bit what you think about Matt and what you expect in that match.
Matt is a great wrestler inside the ring. Outside the ring, a lot of people don't know. He's a very humble man. He's great to talk to, great to socialize with.
Yeah.
I had one match with him, my first death match out of the state. Never did a death match, and I did one against Ron Mathis was my first match. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, the guy who was supposed to wrestle Tremont got hurt. So I had to wrestle Tremont, and I heard all about him, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do with it? He comes out with this bucket full of glass, Legos, tags, and he goes, we're going to have fun. I said, what are we going to do? He goes, I don't know. What do you like to do? I said, well, I'm a good suplex guy. He goes, cool, just throw me on some light tubes. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay. And then he goes, well, to finish the match, I'm going to give you a sit-out power bomb on some light tubes so you won't feel a thing. Well, he forgot the sit-out part. But he gave me this big, huge, vicious power bomb, split my back wide open. It was great. And from that point on, he came here to Rockstar. We formed a friendship, a mutual respect for each other in the ring. He beat me in my first hardcore match with him. Then we had another match, and I beat him. And when he was here last month at pay-per-view, he wants to settle it just to see who the better man is in the hardcore around the Dayton area, because we all know he is the god of hardcore. If you ever watch him, he's great. He's great at what he does.
Well, you said it. I mean, this is the rubber match, and you're facing a guy that's that insane. You know how insane he is in the ring.
He's crazy.
I mean, so how do you prepare facing somebody that's like your equal, if you will, when it comes to hardcore?
I just prepare like I do any other time. Just tell myself, let's go out and have fun. I mean, it is what it is. I don't plan anything out. I don't psych myself out. I just stand behind a curtain, and once I walk out through the curtain, I know it's time to get business done.
Yeah. So this is about respect. This is about finding out who's better. There's no bad blood here.
No.
Clearly, you two, have admiration and respect for one another. But when it comes to getting business done, I can only assume that neither of you is going to hold back in this match.
No, I mean, we've talked recently, and we both told each other, we have the utmost respect for each other. Mm-hmm. We're going to go in there, give the fans what they came to see. We're going to have one hell of a hard-hitting match. Mm-hmm. Then after that, shake hands and go on our way.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. I feel like so often, we get so tied up in, our personal vendettas and, hatred for this wrestler or this faction or, this guy did me wrong or I'm going to get revenge for this. It's nice to see two competitors step into the ring who respect each other but aren't afraid to beat the holy living hell out of each other.
That's what we both do. We love to hurt each other.
Tremont, I swear, last time I saw him a couple times ago, he bled so much. I didn't think I didn't think that the human body had that much blood inside of it.
Yeah, you're talking about that three-way match with myself and him.
That's the one.
Yeah, my kind of dug a little too deep with that fork on his forehead.
Oh, man.
That was my fault. I apologize later for it.
Well, he's still with us, so that's
Yes.
something. We talk about respect and so forth, and I don't think that's going to make this match any easier going or lighter hitting. But let's talk a little bit about who you like to beat up. Who's your favorite wrestler to throw around? Who do you really want to get in the ring and put the boots to, as it were?
Really, anybody that steps in that ring with me, you're going to get... I'm going to come at you with 100%. I just want to come out and beat your ass down real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
But lately around here, there's this wrestler named Sid.
Yeah.
Really gets underneath my skin. This is a business. This ain't a time to come in here and dance and want to touch other men and get turned on by being beat down by us.
You just don't think he takes it seriously?
No, I don't think he takes it serious at all. So every time I get a chance to put my hands on him, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyone else that steps in that ring here or any other place, I will go ahead and beat the shit out of you.
I'll be honest, I was pretty happy when you came out a few weeks ago to beat him up because I was ring announcing that night, and he came right after me, and I don't know. He started gyrating in my direction, and then you came out and saved the day.
He licked
so
his
thank you.
finger and then tried to lick my nipples on one match, and ever
What's
since
wrong with
then,
that guy?
I just want to rip his head off now.
So maybe we'll look forward to that in the future. After you get done with Tremont, maybe you can take down, what is it, Sid Fabulous?
Yes,
He's fabulous now?
Said fabulous. He said something. He's something.
So I don't want to get too scientific here, but you mentioned before, you've got a hell of a suplex, right? What do you think makes a suplex, snap? What makes it look good in the ring?
I think it's all about the hips, the strength,
Yeah.
and coming off your toes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Taz, the way he did suplexes, it was just unbelievable. And if you watch the way Chris Benoit does his chops, the way he strikes you, his intensity, you put those two guys in one big mold. It's just how I like to try to do my work.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned Taz, because on commentary, I constantly mention how you remind me so much of Taz, the way you hit those suplexes, and the build of your body compared to Taz and everything. I mean, you guys are so similar.
Well,
when
let's
you
be
work
clear,
inside that ring.
young Taz.
Young
not-
Taz,
not
of
current
course.
Taz.
Not
Taz
announcing Taz.
Taz is a great man. I love watching him wrestle. There's not a day. I mean, ECW days, those were some great times to watch that man wrestle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, one last thing here. Something that we've been doing the last few times we've had wrestlers on the spotlight is we like to bounce some names off you, some names of some other Rockstar wrestlers, and you give us, kind of the first word that pops into your head when we say these names. All right, sound doable?
Okay.
All right, Mark, you in with me on this?
Sure.
All right, so let's start with an easy one. I think he's the kamikaze now. Michael.
Piece of shit.
Fair enough.
How about Duke Beefhammer?
He's an alright guy. I mean, every time if you bring him up, I'd say that's going to be an upcoming star.
Yeah. Big Jim Hutchinson.
That man alone is what Rockstar is.
Yeah?
Yes.
How about Dave Christ?
Very great at what he does. Great wrestler.
I always love saying that one. People can go so many different directions.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great wrestler. I like him personally. I know he doesn't like me in the ring or out of this wrestling business, so I've been told it by numerous people, but great rep worker.
Yeah. Nate Wings?
Fabulous. I mean, he's just...
More than Sid?
Oh, my God. Yeah. I could watch Nate Wings every night.
Yeah.
Him, stuff that he does is just unbelievable.
Yeah, agreed.
How about Aaron Williams?
His name speaks alone. He is the baddest man around here.
How about some of the new blood here? Zach Wentz.
Who?
Maybe we'll have to get him on the show, so we'll get him a little more famous, right?
I guess that was a fair enough answer.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to the obvious one, right? You're going to face him Friday, March 6th at Unstoppable, Matt Tremont.
The king of death matches right there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not one word that can describe him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great competitor, great person. There's not one word that can describe Matt Tremont other than he's one person I always look forward to working with.
Yeah.
Well, come March the 6th, you have the chance to take the crown away from him, King of the Death Match.
I don't know about no crown, but maybe just around this area.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that match. We're looking forward to everything at Unstoppable. Seeing you Wednesday at AMP. So, again, thanks for being on the show. Ganger, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hello, and once again, unfortunately for me, the man simply known as Michael, I gotta sit here and talk to you and give you a public service announcement. I rather quit doing these things, but it seems like the U.S. government and several other official government affiliates and people out there on the web like to hear my voice, my spews of hatred. Anyway, let's see, last pay-per-view 3. I was supposed to be in the main event at 3, but due to an injury which I suffered on the AMP before that, to this day I am still not cleared. The doctors will not let me in the ring, even though I say they practice medicine. They don't really know what they're talking about half the time. They do these machines on my brain and say I can't wrestle right now still because of a concussion which I suffered. And they want me fully recovered from that before I go back into the ring, which, whatever, you know. Anyway, but the next pay-per-view coming up, lots and lots of great matches on that. The match I'm looking forward to is a match between Mathis and Jake. Usually I hate Mathis' guts. Ron, I really just can't stand you just because of pure fact you think you're better than me, but I'll give it to you. You are a little better than me. I have yet to beat you in that ring. But I've made you bleed a few times, which on my list, that counts. Anyway, let's say good luck to you, Mathis, and I like your new attitude, what you're doing, your new seeing of the dark side of OI4K, and seeing him in not such of a good guy light anymore, because every good guy has a dark shadow behind him, and good for you that you saw that, and you became a man on your own, and you want to get that belt. Because you know what, for a while, Rockstar, you were the uncrowned champion. I'll give it to you at that. But now, you have your chance, and good luck to you, guy. But unfortunately, I won't see it, because I'm simply not cleared by the doctor. I really don't like too many people here, so why hang around? I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm going to go to Europe and enjoy some fine European food, get away from this fat-ass, greasy, American, self-indulged crap they shove in their faces every day. Mention that, we have some new food at our convenience up here in front of Rockstar Pro, so why don't you guys wallow up and get your trough all full. But anyway, while you trough eaters are enjoying a nice, cold, damp place, I'm going to be in Europe enjoying beautiful sights, museums. I'm sure you don't know what that are. Museums is where they put things to educate you through art and literature and history. If you went to school, which some of you might have known what history is. Well, I'm going to go indulge myself in some nice, beautiful, rich, historical European culture. I'm sure you guys know how to spell Google, so you might want to Google that. Anyway, next month, I'll be back, filling your hearts with joy, and this has been simply a Michael's Moment.
So, another Michael's Moment. This one seemed to kind of rambling and, without any direction or purpose.
This one seemed rambling.
Well,
I just want to know, how much is he paying you to have the segment on the show?
He's
because I'm not getting any cut of that.
Well, I'm not getting any cut of anything.
Just...
So I just kind of, it's like a public service, right?
Yeah.
To a degree, or maybe a public disservice. But
yeah, that's more accurate, yes.
It's almost one of those traditions at this point where you don't really know why you do it, and maybe it even feels wrong, but you've always done it, so you keep doing it.
I wonder if some of his rambling, I guess even more rambling than usual, had to do with that concussion he got right before 3.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Think that may have been the case, but it sounds like he's taking some time off. Now he's Europe's problem for a while.
I don't know. He can kamikaze over there.
That's true. So, we would really like to extend that warm invitation.
Yeah, very warm.
Yeah. Come to Unstoppable Friday, March 6th, 7:30 p.m. here at 1106 East 3rd Street. If you're still reeling from 3 like we are, this is a good way to kind of get back into the game, reconnect with Rockstar, and see where we're going from here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't been to a Rockstar Pro event, this is kind of a good place to start. 'Cause
Yeah.
once you get that anniversary event out of the way, that's kind of our WrestleMania, I guess.
Yeah.
And we kind of reset.
Yeah.
We started all over. This is like pay-per-view number 1 right here. Make it here, and you'll see Jake Kris and Ron Mathis. That's all you need to know.
That's right. Jake's been on the show a lot of late. We tried to get Ron on the show.
Yeah.
But it was a different Ron Mathis. He just kind of gave us the cold shoulder. Usually he's so eager to talk, and he's been on this show so many times, yelling into the mic, fucking up the levels, but he just seemed distant. He wasn't himself.
Right. Now you know what I was talking about earlier when I interviewed him quickly after Amped last week. I mean, he just doesn't seem like the same person. Usually you can like have fun with him and talk with him backstage and stuff, but now he just
barely
doesn't want to
word.
talk to anybody.
Yeah. But, as they say, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
And you will see Ron Mathis in action against the Rockstar Pro champion, Jake Kris, at Unstoppable. Also, we have Kyle Maverick versus Aaron Williams. I'm not going to lie. I feel like Aaron, even though he's maybe a little injured, has the advantage in this match. He's got the experience. But with Sam in Kyle's corner, she's the wild card, I would argue.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment there. I mean, Kyle Maverick, this is a huge opportunity for him, but Aaron Williams, I mean, he's the baddest man alive.
Yeah.
You got to say he's the favorite in this one, but you never know what'll happen in a Rockstar Pro ring.
That's true. And additionally, in a hardcore match, dear God, it's Ganger versus Matt Tremont in what is likely to be a blood-soaked, ultra-violent affair.
Yeah, if you like blood, if you like guts, if you like death matches, this is the match to see right here. 2 of the best when it comes to that environment, in the Pitbull Ganger and the Bulldozer Matt Tremont.
Yeah, this is the collision of 2 tanks. I mean, both, built like brick shithouses. I feel like
the unstoppable force versus the what? Immovable object? What did he say?
I think that's the case. You've seen Ganger, throw some of the stiffest punches.
Right.
Do some of the roughest suplexes. I mean, the man is a beast, but if anyone can take that sort of punishment, it's Matt Tremont.
Yeah, I mean, we saw just a few weeks ago in Amped, Ganger just attacked Sid Fabulous before his match.
Yeah.
For seemingly no reason other than he's Sid Fabulous.
Right.
Normally that would be a hate crime, but here in Rockstar Pro, it's cheered wildly by the fans. And you saw the beating he put on Sid Fabulous. That's just a fraction of what he's planning to dish out for Matt Tremont.
Would you say Ganger took out the trash?
That I would. He
Okay.
took it out very well.
So, as we said, Alex Colon, DJ Hyde, Matt Taylor, and more. Keep your eye out on RockstarProWrestling.com to see more matches as they're announced. But aside from that, we hope to see you at Amped every Wednesday here at Rockstar Pro Arena. We hope to see you at Unstoppable this Friday, March 6th. Also, we've got a few other things to talk about. As we said last time, we are no longer the official and solitary podcast of Rockstar Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, we have a Rockstar Pro podcast network, and it's going very well, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Check out Spreaker.com, or you can download the app from the Play Store. I imagine it's on iTunes as well.
Yes.
I don't know for sure. Or the iStore, Apple Store, whatever the hell it is.
One of those things.
Whatever. But yeah, you can listen to other podcasts there. You got Real Alien Talk with Michael and Scary Gary. You got Punks and Pinfalls with C-Dub and GG, plus some other specials that pop up on occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I listened to one of the Real Alien Talk episodes.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
It is. Agreed.
It's much different than your typical wrestling podcast.
Yeah. They talk about some wild shit on there.
Yes, they do.
So check that out for sure. Also, while you're on RockstarProWrestling.com, you can check out all the new merchandise there, from Mathis's new tee to Ganger's tee. You can show your support for the Pitbull by wearing his t-shirt. Aaron Williams has that sweet Bloodsport shirt now. All sorts of cool stuff on
love
Rockstar.
the Aaron Williams shirt. That's my new favorite.
So check out RockstarProWrestling.com. And we have a couple of concerts to talk about. We kind of are leaving that in large part to Punks and Pinfalls now.
Yes, we are.
But I just wanted to say, Full of Hell is going to be here Thursday, March 12th. More information on that one coming soon. Plus, the following night, Friday the 13th.
Again? We just had one.
I know.
Oh, what's going on here?
Leave it to the Romans, right? Weren't they the ones
Of course.
who fucked it up and made February only 28 days?
I'll take your word for it.
Well, thanks. So that's going to be Grave Robber, Glass World, From Silence to Violence, and The Knuckles. That's a $7 show. Show up, rock the hell out. It should be a good time. I was going to talk about the Leg Bone show, but odds are that will probably have already happened by the time you hear this.
Hey, we can talk about it anyway. I don't care.
Nah.
Is anybody listening at this point? I don't even know.
I think they're expecting, JP to tell them to tune in next time to hear that Kick-Ass Skeleton Witch song.
Yes.
And maybe, just maybe, the diehard fans are going to listen to, that outtake that I sometimes put at the very end of the episode.
So instead of giving them all that, we'll just keep dragging this part out.
Yeah, totally.
Longer and longer. I like that idea. What's going on with you lately? I mean,
same old work, family, leading an army of rat men, that sort of thing.
Just the usual.
Yeah. How about you?
No rat men, but
no rat men in your life?
no, not in my life. I got plenty when I went to your house that one time. That was something else.
Yeah. So you've been listening to the Warhammer podcast. No, you haven't. We're out of things to say, so join us next time on Backstage Pass. More inside information and interviews with Rockstar Pro wrestlers. Oh, Mark has something to say.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's right.
That's all for this episode. Be sure to come back for another edition of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast.
Plug the shit out of it.
Fat ass.
Not
too bad.
quite meatloaf, but yeah, it's not bad.